afternoon, everybody. As Sir described, my name is Joseph, I'm from Christchurch. We started all around. I will just take a minute to tell about this one, then we'll jump on the topic straight away, right? So all around means shepherd, the one who protects, the one who guards his flock from danger, from the wolves, from the lions, from the problems. We believe to guard mankind and human psychology, we need to work all those big areas which make us, which generate and build our profile. And more you study, more you read, more you ponder and inquire, you find out there are only three things which every day we talk about and we are built with them. The faith, finances, and the fitness. The mental and physical fitness, health, and we all work in the finances. We're looking for money, we're looking for work, we're looking for business, I want to buy this, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And like from morning to evening, most of the human being, they just working with the finances, isn't it? Yeah. Most of the time as well. And then we have identity. Some of us is Christian, some is Hindu, some is Sikh, some is Muslim, some is Buddhist, some does not identify anything at all. They still count human, don't they? We all count human, we are human. But these are our identities. We still function under a building, right? We still work together in a company. We study at a college, at an institute, places and stuff like this. Now, Around works in all these three areas with the people, with institution, to build a better tomorrow. Why I say this word, a better tomorrow? Today's topic is diversity, coexistence, respect. And this is all belong to the leadership. Leadership. If I say, I went to the parliament, I went to parliament and I talked to ministers. I went to the churches, I talked to the pastors. I went to the mosque, I spoke with imams, right? I met many religious, social, industrial, and political leaders. And I speak with them, look, this is our problem in the society, at school, at college, university, at the office, at a workplace, at supermarket. Overall, we are dealing with diversity problem. What are diversity problems? Can someone tell me, this is a workshop by the way, this is not a speech, so if one is sleeping, you can do this, you're allowed, at your own expense. Don't put on me, please. Okay, so can someone tell me what is diversity? Just guess it. There's no right or wrong answer.
Someone's uniqueness.
Someone's uniqueness.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else? You, please. Bingo, no
Varieties.
problem. Yeah, you got some?
Varieties.
Variety.
Like difference.
Differences, yes, absolutely. Okay. Something else, someone else. You sleeping? No, not today. You had a good sleep last night? Okay, good. Look, I identified everyone has their own definition. There's no one certain definition for diversity. When I was writing this article yesterday and I tried to put it together, it's like a hometown, it's like a city. You live in Papanoi, or you live in Woolston, or you live wherever, And in the whole area, you have lots of streets. They walk into each other. Some keeps going straight, some goes right, T, L shape, stuff like this. But they all building one whole circumference of a society, of a suburb, of a city, and some main areas, some main roads, highways, stuff like this. This is diversity. You cannot eliminate or minus one of them. You cannot take one house out of their city, it doesn't belong here. They all belong there, and that's what makes it beautiful. Imagine one big road, all the way from here to Australia, wherever. And only houses on one left, one, two, right, left. Would it make any sense? And the dairy shop is all the way 5 kilometers after. You have to walk there. Diversity, this is diversity. But when you're living in diversity in a country and a society, what are the factors which put you together? You can live peacefully, you can love each other, you can care for others, but these are only words. These are only worldly or theoretical imaginations, pretty much. But do they exist in real life? When you function in a society, we're talking about the global society, not one city or one suburb, We are New Zealand, but we are talking Australia, we're talking USA, we're talking Egypt, we're talking other parts of the country, India and Bangladesh and Pakistan. We all are like different fabrics together making one big thing. No, when we say, this, let's say this is the diversity here, right? And how can we respect each other? You'd be thinking two things at the moment. What is the problem? Why am I here? Wasting you guys' time, Or what are we talking about? And why you are the audience? I have some slides. I don't think so I'm gonna look at them because I never use them. But first thing, the problem is the leadership. Second thing I want to talk here, the audience. This audience. Why this here? Remember I started with that I met those leaders. I do every day. I'm an entrepreneur. I run some businesses. I have a massive network in the industry. I know lots of industry leaders. And the all industry leaders, they are the backbone of the political leaders. Industry tells politics. Industry tells the politician what to do because they are the most money-making machine and they are running the taxes. They're running all the bills, right? So they're all interconnected. Leadership, today, you look around you, in any single country, if you are happy with your leaders, everyone is screwed. Not right word, but they're screwed. I don't know the easy word for that one. Everyone is unhappy. People's rights are violated. What they want to do, they're not happy with it. But when we're talking here, mutual respect, coexistence, then money-wise, you're paying rent, you have a house, or whatever the story with you, thing is happening. But when you come into a country, either India or Pakistan or New Zealand or USA, right? You're living in a mixed economy, in a mixed, diverse society where you have Indians, you have Americans, you have Portuguese, you have Spanish, right? Multiple people living together. Now, if they're living together because they want to be there, but they're not acknowledged, right? You are a victim of racism. You are a victim of discrimination, right? And you are a victim because your skin is like this, or your nose is like this, or because you are Chinese and your language is like this, right? Because you are from India and you do these certain things. So you can pick on anyone on anything. This in a diverse community is not allowed. If this exists there, it's not a happy community. It's not a happy society. In the laws, in the books, this is a crime. Racism is a crime, discrimination is a crime, ethically, morally it's a crime. But actually, when you go to people, you will see people in the parliament, at the church, at the mosque, at the temple, at the synagogue, at industries, in the companies. They bluntly would say, hey, get out of here. I don't like your face. They will do it. And then what do you do about it? My friend, Vicky, from India, he wanted to celebrate the New Year night in Queenstown. So he left here in the morning, got there in the evening, and said, hey, get out of here, go back to your country. Poor man literally went back to his country. Because he was disheartened. He was discouraged. Now, this can damage in a big way. People, they can take it too serious, they can take it too personal, they can end up going the wrong way, suicidal, or not achieving what they actually wanted to achieve in education and business and jobs and in the general life. How to deal with it? Everywhere you go and complain about it, you will not get the right answers. They say we have done about it, the laws about this, blah, 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 but there's no right answers. Nothing gonna happen. On the roads, you will see their protest every now and then against ethnicities, against Muslims, against Hindus, against Chinese. And they're big. What you can do about it? Nothing. Be scared. Why am I talking to you about these problems today? Because you guys, all together, are the leaders tomorrow. When I went to those people, they didn't listen to me. You go, they won't listen to you either. Because the problem which you see, they don't see it that way. You get that? The problem you see, they don't see it that way. They think this is not a problem, or if it is, they have already dealt with it. It's still living there in the market. It's still in the lives of the people. still disturbing people, harming people, right? How can you fix it? The only one way to fix it is that the leaders, they are programmed different way. They are programmed differently. If I can ask your age, please. Roughly, you're 20, 22, 24, you're not sure?
He's 60.
21.
How old are you?
21. 21 today, after 20 years, maybe sitting in the parliament. Right? 25 today, after 20 years, maybe running the whole society, running a whole business. So they are not going to be the aliens who are going to run this industry, this parliament, these mosques, these churches. You know, the lady going to run the church, the way she's smiling. Now the thing is, these leaders, let's say I use a time machine. I went there, talked to them, didn't get any response. I use a time machine to come back into their past when they were young. And I was thinking, I wish I met them when they were young. I could discuss things with them, we have talked together, and this thing, I'm talking to them today, if they were thinking different way, if they learn things different way, that hate and discrimination, it has an origin. This bias has an origin. We're going to discuss shortly, right? But I was thinking, if I met them when they were young, learning, students, going through life, different phases, not too much occupied with what they're doing today, then I approached them, the circumstances would have been different. But they wouldn't listen. So I used time machine. I came back, and I'm here in the past. 20 years back in the time. Talking to the very leaders in the future in 20 years, 15 years, stuff like this. You don't believe that? If not you, all of you, who will run this society? Who else? People from Mars? Moon? Where? Who will run these institutions, these industries, these churches, these mosques, this parliament? Who? Same people. But at the moment, your worry is getting a degree and get out of here, right? And then find a job, $60,000, $40,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. But then, few of you will move upward in the industry. You'll be running your own brands. In finances, we talk about your own brands. We talk about your own business. We talk about your financial stability. Instead of just job, you can do bigger, better things. That's what you're designed for. But when you go back in the industry, and for some of you will be like, I'm meeting when I'll be super old, prime minister, or minister, or MPA, policy making. If you learn those things, which is damaging the coexistence today, which is damaging and ruining the respect together today in the society, when it is your turn to make policies, the thing will be different. You will welcome people from Hinduism, from Christianity, from Islam, from Judaism, from anything. You will say the all children of Adam. We are all one. We all believe same. You get that? But this respect, as I mentioned, does not come from nowhere, or just from listening one lecture here and there, or YouTube, or just, yeah, I believe now. There's an effort. To get a degree, you spend 2, 3, 4 years. How is it possible without working on it, reading and taking pain, you can infuse into your profile and your personality a person who welcomes everyone? Let's say your name is Shi, X-I Shi, a Chinese man, right? And when you are at the campus, at university, at college, supermarket, or workplace, people hate you. Why? Only because you are Chinese. Most Kiwis in New Zealand, most young Kiwis are alone. Don't have many friends. In different cultures, you have many friends. I'm from Pakistan, I have bajillion friends. Everywhere, every country I go, I have friends there. They're already sitting there waiting for me. You're from India, you have many friends. You're Brazilian, many friends. Right? It's a culture. Here, sadly, our children, our youngsters, this age, not many friends. They're living a lonely life. That's a problem. That's a problem of yours. To create a system in the society, people don't get stressed. Mental health, fitness. It doesn't only come by going to gym or eating right food and adopting good habits. No, you need a friendship circle. You need a robust family system. And that's a part of society. And that's the job of a leader. It's the job of a leader to make sure community and society has what they need. I'm talking today because tomorrow you guys will be calling the shots. You guys will be doing this job, not this one, like running the society, to be very honest. But you will remember these things later. What you can do today? That's a question. You know? What happened to my friend? I tell you a few stories, right? A very short story, which really hurt. I was at a church. And then one story at my hometown back in Pakistan. And then a story another in New Zealand, in West Coast. I was at a church. And I am a student of multiple religions. I study Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism. I study a lot. I know about all, not I'm saying 100%. I read all of them. I respect all of them. That's the only reason I really respect, I read about them. I read the differences and I read and understand the commonalities. Right? They all believe in one sovereign God in their faith. And then they describe the God in different way. One say one, one say three, one say everything. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have millions of things common in every religion, in every faith. And you can, because of those, you can enjoy those commonalities. That's enough for you. For example, I'll give you some examples. In the article I was writing last night, I put a few examples here. In the tradition of Islam, for example, right? In the tradition of the sayings of Prophet Muhammad, in Tirmidhi is the book's name, verse 1924, he said, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said to the followers and believers, have mercy on those on earth, and the one in the heavens will have mercy on you. That's the very basic, very core of humanity, isn't it? What does the Christianity say? The Jesus, peace be upon him. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31, he says, treat people in the same way that you want them to treat you. They both connect. They both give the same message, right? About humanity, about oneness of the mankind. Let's talk about Ramchandraji. You're familiar with the name, right? In the book, Vilamiki Ramayana, he says, one should behave towards others as one would desire others to behave towards oneself. Same wording, same message, same humanity, no differences, right? How about Guantanamo Buddha? It doesn't count as a religion, but it's a big society. You know, in so many definitions of the dictionary, it still fall under the definition of religion. Buddha says, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal law. You see the common things in them? All big leaders of the big faiths talking about one common thing, which is humanity, which is love, which is respect. Ramchandraji said, if you should be like a mother, like mother protects children, this is how you should protect all children of God. You get that? How beautiful, how amazing it is. Every religion you go, every faith you go, every church and mosque and temple you get this humanity there. This connects you. But what disconnects you? On the other hand, differences. God is one, God is three, God is five, but it's okay. But does that, your own religion, your own scripture, allow you to fight, to hate because of their differences? No. Absolutely not. I studied most of them. It doesn't say because they differ with the faith, you go fight with them. No, it doesn't. You pass on message, they take it, it doesn't matter. You respect. You respect. Just like you like sushi, you don't like sushi, you like curry, you don't like curry, you like fish and chips, you go get it. Bring it all on the same table. It does not mean you go marry within the other faiths or relations. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking coexistence. Coexistence. That's how it works. But we have in our society racism, discrimination. Why? Because this very people, this very fabric, this very thread is knitting that sweater and is carrying this disease. Why? I give you an example. I was at the church. The lady came to me after the service and all I was spending there, and she thought I'm from India. She thought I'm Hindu. No problem, no problem. I look like that. And she said, so why are you here? I said, oh, I'm a learner, I'm a student, so I'm here. And she said, I'm not picking on Christianity. I love all religions. But I'm telling what as a disease we adopt, we conceive, and that all it gives other assumptions. And based on assumption, we build something in our mind. And then we make decision. And that lady was not learned Christian at all. If she had learned this, what I just told you about Jesus said, she would never do it to me. And she didn't do it to me directly. She did it to some Hindu brother or sister, right? And she said, so you believe in cow as a god? I said, I didn't say anything. So how many gods? We have more gods in New Zealand like cows than human. I didn't say anything. It really hurts. It hurts. You are at a religious place. These things happen in the parliament. Many times. You talk about something good, they say out of here. Out of here. In the parliament. Even if you're a leader. Even if you're a minister. It happened there too. And it's happening everywhere. And it will keep happening. Until and unless the right people are leading the society. Right? I never answered that lady, but I said, look, whatever you're saying does not belong to your own religion, does not belong to your own scripture. Maybe you should have some more time to study it. That how you should talk to those people, because your religious leader didn't say that. I was in Pakistan. You know, the city council people come here to collect the garbage. Every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they get your green bin, red bin, white bin. Do you hate them? You run, if you're late, you run behind them, please take it. This Monday morning, I forgot to put the bins out, and I ran to the other side of the road, please take it. And when I was in Pakistan, there's a guy, his name is Siddiq. Maybe he's Christian, or maybe he's Muslim, I don't know, but his name is Siddiq. I saw a family. They give him food, they give him chai, they give him, whenever they need something, they will offer. Please focus on this story. This exists here and everywhere in the world. What I'm saying, where the origin come from of this problem. When you complain, and then you say, what's the solution? And I saw them offering the man chai. So very nice. He comes collect the rubbish, and you offer him chai. I say, yeah, we'll do this. And I said, and when they took the cups, they put the cups after serving somewhere else. Chai cups. I said, why did you put the cups there? They said, they belong to them only. So you don't use these cups at home for yourself? They said, no, that's only for them. I said, why? Are they the children of a lesser God? Are they not human? If they're different religion or different ethnicity, whatever, why would you do this? Would your prophet do it? I said, no. Did you read this in Quran or Hadith or somewhere? No. Then why do you apply this practice there? Why this is a big thing. They count 10 things we do, this for them as an act of the goodness for them. It's a good deed for them, help. But that guy, his name is Siddiq, he's living this pain every day. When he sees the same cup. You notice things. Oh, same car again. Oh, look at that, same guy again. Same cup again every day. This is painful. Please mind my voice. It's broken this morning. And I was in West Coast for work many years ago. Some Jewish young men. I met them there. They came to me. They thought I'm a Muslim. I don't know how did they find out. There was no sign of Muslim on me, apparently. And we talked. And then they said that we are the chosen people of God. I said, no matter what you do. They said, no matter what we did. It's in the lineage, it's in the blood. And I said, that God is racist. So God did not say that in the scripture. They made it up. So people can make up whatever to divide others. This disease is called inferiority and superiority complex. right? Because someone is black skin or green skin or white skin, and they think you are lower than them because of skin color, that's it. Other than that, what can you offer? Let's say you are superior because you're black skin, and the white is inferior, or you are white skin, and the black are inferior, or brown. Other than this thing, what do you have? Being white or being black, what else do you have to offer on the table to the people, to the humanity? You get that? Nothing. They all believe same. That means God created all same. He designed your eyes, your hair, your color, your language, your ethnicity, your mom and dad. He chose, right? Some believe, some don't. Doesn't matter. By end of the day, human are all one. If you do not learn this at this stage, if you do not study others, other faith, other religion, other communities, other cultures, some words in some cultures are offensive. In others, they're for laughter, right? We need to know these things. Without knowing, you cannot really respect the coexistence. It is not possible. It's not possible. We're living in 2020, this year 2025. The whole world knows what is happening around. No. What the biggest event happening to the mankind, to the humanity, we all know. Why is it happening? The third story I told you, we are the chosen people. It doesn't belong to the book, it doesn't belong to the God, it doesn't belong to the political norms or cultures or ethics. People made it up. But that's a political thing. We're not discussing that. Why you're discussing what? Leadership. When you're a leader, what would you do? I'll tell you a story quickly. Dr. Roy is an American, his name is Casagrande. Dr. Roy Casagrande, he's an American author, historian. He's very famous. He runs some YouTube channel in college as well. So I was listening to one of his history lecture, and he tells a story of the very same place, Jerusalem, in 600 something AD. And he says how the Jerusalem was conquered by one of the Muslim empire. The name of the caliph that time, the king, was Umar. It has nothing to do with the religion. The story has nothing to do with the religion, but humanity. That's why I'm quoting it here, because he said it. He says, when the army, led by one guy, sitting on a camel, but the sitting on a camel was not the king. He was the slave, he was the servant. So when they conquered the city, they surrounded the whole city of Jerusalem, the army of the Muslims. Now they wanted a bloodless handover. The Sepharonius, the cardinal, the leader of that city, he said, I will give the key only to the caliph, only to the khalifa, the king, not to anyone else. So the khalifa had to come all the way from Medina, 4 or 5 days, as a travel to get there. But he does not come with lots of people, lots of army and the protocol. One servant, one camel. And he says, look, we're going to have a deal. I sit on the camel, 1 hour, you hold the rope. Then you sit on the camel, 1 hour, I hold the rope. He says, sir, we cannot do it. You're my master. You're the king. He said, no, this is the way. I would have to answer to God Almighty. They get there. When they get there, it was time for the slave, the servant, to sit on the camel. Sepharonius comes, which one is your caliph? He says, not the one up there, the one down there, stuck in the sludge and the mud, trying to pull the camel. Well, when they get there, this is a long story. You can try Dr. Roy Casagrande on YouTube. You will see this whole thing there. When they get there, and they say, okay, what's the terms and condition? He says, only condition is all political leaders of yours, the Roman, they leave the city. Whatever you want to take, the gold, the money you can carry, you can take this. So that's it. He says, okay, let's walk around the city. They walk around the city. They didn't burn anything. They didn't collapse anything. They didn't destroy anything. They didn't rape or murder people there. That was a bloodless entry. And they say, why don't you do this? He says, because this doesn't belong to us or humanity. They said, we used to do this. That's you. And then he goes, he says, where is the sacred temple? They said, that's there. That's a whole pile of rubbish. He cleans it with his army. And then he says, the main thing I want to tell you, he says, Where is the Jewish community here? So Muslim got there, Christian already living there. Where is the Jewish community here? They say, oh, we kicked them out. They don't belong here. They said no. And under our rule, they will have to come back and live here. And he orders 80 family to come back and abide there. This is called coexistence. So in his religion, there was no enmity. He called that place holy for all of them. He says they all welcome, they belong there. The people who've been kicked out should come back. Right? So if you are Chinese, you're Indian, you're Portuguese, you're Pakistani, you're a Kiwi, you're Australian, you're American, you're Spanish, you're all human beings under one umbrella. And everyone should love each other. Without knowing each other, you cannot love each other. The solution is, we learn about others. And then we respect that. We learn the commonalities. We learn the differences, and we respect them. And we join the commonalities with each other. You get this thing? Right? Now, the time machine, thanks to time machine, and back to the leaders. Don't forget, you are the tomorrow's leaders. You will be the making policies for, what we're going to do with the people, for the visas, for the education, for the books, the curriculum, right? The food, the culture, the religions, and ethnicity. You'll be sitting there doing some decisions, making decisions. You'll be running big companies, lots of employees underneath you, in your control, in your payroll. How are you going to treat them? All of the big leaders told us how you treat them. The way you want to be treated, right? Exactly the way you want. This is diversity, the true picture. This is the true picture of diversity. It looks beautiful. Maybe, let me tell you how diversity works, how beautiful it is. Imagine you eat fish and chips every single day. For the lunch and the dinner. Forget about the breakfast. And then you say, today I want to have some chicken rice. So that's you adding another thing, variety, right? This is diversity. Tomorrow you want to have a biryani. That's a variety. The next day sushi. That's a variety. They all together, multiple choices. They're adding more color and taste into your life every day. This is diversity. This is diversity. And when you don't have it, don't allow Japanese come here. You're not going to have a sushi. You try make sushi, it will not be good. I don't want to say the word. It will not be good. Because we don't know how to make it. They are the original people. You try biryani, it's not going to turn like that. They know how to make it. So the origins comes to you, brings lots of beauties, tastes and cultures and languages. This is how you look beautiful. Multiple colors. Imagine every day you wear just black. You'll be bored. Right? This is not diversity. So diversity is a beautiful thing. Well, I will stop here because most of the thing I wanted to have in a Q&A, we discuss. We talk about this thing. You ask questions, we'll discuss this together, right? But the main thing was here, at the institutions, this thing should be a must. We talk, I did not talk about Christians good or bad, Muslim good or bad, Jewish good or bad, atheists good. No, that's not a question. The question is, diversity overall matters. And when you live for diversity, you respect others. And then you acknowledge the coexistence. Because you are good for this society. You're good for this economy. You bring all the teachers, the IT, the mathematician, the educated people. On a milk there's a cream. You are cream of the country where you come from here. And you're serving this country. For 3 days they are not going to work. Imagine, in any country, US, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Europe, all the immigrants, all the non-natives, 3 days they say, all together we're not going to work these 3 days. The economy will collapse in 3 days. 3 days. 3 days. I didn't say a month or a week or a year. 3 days, all the people who come from outside into your country, they live there, they work there, they contribute in every single industry. They say, we're not going to work 3 days. See what happened to that country. It's empty. The machinery will get rusted within 3 days. That's how important everyone is. then it's just important to respect them too, and acknowledge them, and acknowledge the coexistence. That will not come without knowing and reading and learning. I go to the people for reading, for learning. I ask questions, I discuss with them. Why? Because that helps me understanding others. So okay, let's say I'm a Muslim, I believe this. They're Christian, they believe this. They're Hindu, they believe this. But if I do not know what I will do, I assume. Hindus, they may be doing this. Oh, Christian, I think they do this. They believe this. This is assumption. You know, based off assumption, you bring your CV to me, I said, nah, I don't think so. I lost a valuable person. Right? I lost a valuable asset because of my assumption. So based on assumption, you do not build anything. Right? The perception comes from the way you think. And the perception is the next step to the conceiving, the decision-making chain. You know, you made a decision who you want to marry, who you want to work with, what business you want to start, what sort of people you want to have as a friends, what sort of community you live with, you know, how. This all decision you make. But if you make decision based on ignorance, that's a problem. There was a thing here. How do I find it? Look at this. Okay, don't look at it. Look at this. It's not a good car. It could have been an apple, right? This is you, a born leader, a strong, visionary person, wanted to learn, you know, wanted to excel. But if your personality is destroyed with assumption, ignorance, not knowing the right thing at the right time, then what happens? You judge others based on that ignorance. And then what do you become? Good. Can you go with this sort of personality to Pack and Save? Can you carry people from A to B? Can you carry your own household when you look like this? Can't. And what your personality gets? You're rotten, useless, but you still have potential to get better, right? And you become coward because of the ignorance. I use lies today. You get that? Right? So do not underestimate yourself, please. This is my request. That you are nothing, you are just a student, and you are just a, you don't count. No, you count. You people will be running the country. I say again. You will be calling the shots of the world. If not you, then who else? Who else? Where are those people going to come from? It's you. You have the power. But the power should be used properly, with the knowledge, with the learning, and that starts from you yourself. You know, take a book, take a reading, meet people, mingle with others, and ask questions. And then respect that coexistence. Right? You can make better community, you can make and form a better society, and this is how countries develop. For you living in New Zealand, for the betterment of this community, this country, the coexistence is a big thing. We have so many different societies and cultures and ethnicities here, right? All we need to do is learn each other. Don't do PhD on each society. It's basic thing. There's general things, right? He is this, why is this? And you want to adopt others, you want to choose, make this, it's your own choice. It's your own choice. That's what it is. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And now we have some discussion, some questions. So anyone has a question? Looking at him, look at me. We have people online there. Yes, if there is any question on that end, we would love to discuss. It's a discussion. It's a discussion. Because when you ask question, you're just raising a concern. And what we can do about it. Right? Or maybe you can ask questions, what faith, what culture, what religion, what more when you make laws, they're common for all. And equal for all. And they're not just, came out of the trees. The humans sit together and they made the policies of the laws and regulation for not animals, for human beings. For human beings, for their betterment. Right? That's why I said tomorrow you will be doing the same job. So if you have concern, that's what you want to work on. So let's start on that one, please. Yeah. Is anybody here? Someone is talking. Yeah. Yes, please, Ramya. Meanwhile, they come. Please. Yeah, you have something? You don't have something at all? No?
What's your purpose for this center?
A very good question. Thank you for asking. Purpose is to shape a better community tomorrow, a better leadership tomorrow, right? As I said to start with, that protecting your psychology, personality, what you are real, natural, the way you're born, with the qualities, you know, their leadership, their love, their compassion, taking care of each other, but they are only worldly and bookish words if we do not apply them on a real base. Someone is mean to you, and you're not mean to them in the back, you know, like Buddha said, the hate doesn't cease hate. You gotta come up with another option, right? Like Jesus said, you treat others the way you want to be treated. Like Prophet Muhammad said, that you show mercy on the people on earth, and the one in heaven will show mercy to you. You get that? So this is the purpose, that we discuss these things. We start the discussion in the country at the education institutions. Because all these people will be running tomorrow the whole country. If at this level you do not discuss, it doesn't become part of your personality. You're learning. It will sit in your consciousness. This discussion, it will sit in your consciousness and subconsciousness. And whenever time comes, whenever you will see, okay, he's talking about some ethnicity, some person, some skin color, some language, and then he's picking on them, you will see, okay, this is not the better thing. This thought is destroying the community, the society, right? And if people come in a leadership from this psychology, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna harm the society. We wanna save the society. So the purpose is that we just start discussion on these topics, right? Because you will see discussion from some communities when they're looking for their rights. When their rights are violated, right? Muslims, Hindus, Chinese, or Egyptian, right? Or Christian. When their rights are violated, they talk about this. Look, this happened to us, we need justice. Blah, 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 blah. One of my friends, he's a teacher. Once he told me, he says, one's duty is other's right. Right? My duty pays your right. So if I do my duty honestly, you don't have to complain about it. You know, you already got your rights. Because I did my job properly. If I'm not a racist, I'm not discriminating others, I'm not a hater, you know, I'm not a low-life loser because other people getting successful, I'm here getting jealous. That means I'm doing my duty very well, being a human. And you will never complain about my actions to you, right? Your right to me is that I respect you, I don't harm you. This is the purpose. If you will never discuss these things, they will never become part of your personality, never ever. Just like you don't go to gym, you don't build a muscle. The couch is your best friend then, isn't it? Yes. Anyone there have a question?
There are online questions. Does our cognitive styles affect our ability to perceive the insights of current reality?
Our cognitive style, it does. The way we are going at the moment in the world, this is our current style, current learning patterns. You know, it can go against the big. I work in the industry, right? I'm a business guy. The way industry is working at the moment, They are not generating only doctors or professors or engineers. They're generating the machinery for making money. This is a sad reality. You learn consciousness, you learn education, you become a better human being through the education which we get in today's institutions, no doubt. No, that's a primary reason. But on the other end, someone is harvesting this whole thing, right? Why? Because if you're an engineer, when you're studying, you're not thinking to be an entrepreneur. You're thinking, I'm gonna get a job, and this is a job, and I'm gonna go get a mortgage and get my house, and then I'm gonna die. Or maybe do a couple of road trips and then die, right? So it changes the perception. It does. If we're not gonna change the pattern of learning that I'm talking about here today, that considering others, it's just like that. You're studying history, you can learn a little bit about biology as well. So when people of the biology section, they're sitting on next to you somewhere in the same room, you just don't want to say, what they're talking about, I don't know. You get that? So we need to acknowledge others, and with this mindset, we keep working in education sector, keep learning things, and that will help with networking. That will help you with the money, with the business, with the networking. That's how you meet other people, right? I hope I understood the question right and answered accordingly.
Okay, there is an extension of this question.
Yeah.
How we can work on our insight. Sometimes it's really challenging to change our pattern of learning. How faith related.
We have to sacrifice. How? The question is, how can we change ourselves in order to adopt that change? What's the topic? Leadership. Leaders take the risk. They take the challenge. You know the meaning of entrepreneur? Anyone knows the meaning of entrepreneurship? Anyone? Try. Try a wrong guess. Come on. Someone. That guy had no breakfast, that's why he's silent. But someone. Try. Exactly. It's a good answer. Entrepreneur means taking risks. The problem is in the market. Someone stands up and take the challenge, take the risk, and says, okay, I try it, I do it. When you say, I try it, I do it, you took the challenge. You took the job. You are successful or not, that doesn't matter in entrepreneurship. You came up with a solution, or you came up with the idea of having a solution. This is called entrepreneurship. You take the job, you take the challenge, you start something from scratch or whatever. You have to start thinking other way. You have to start thinking with a different mindset on psychology. As I said, I gave you example of those 2-3 people, right? The people heard. People have not studied right way. They have not studied humanity right way, right? As I said, all religions, the faith, and all the laws of the countries, they basically guide towards a common good which we all enjoy, right? But when there are differences, we don't want to learn. Most of the people say, don't touch that topic, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. Why not? Talk, learn, but talk in a civil manner. You don't need to fight to others, right? But this is a beautiful question in an extension that how can we change our inner self, our perceptions, design, methodology. Stop assuming. Stop bluffing and guessing and conjectures. Go find the right answer until you get 1 + 1 is 2. That's where you stop. Right? Because look, when we are students, we are not only getting a degree from here. This 3 year, 1 year, 4 years, building us something, making us something. And after that, we jump into society, into the industry, into the communities. And what have you developed yourself within those 4 years? I think these institutions, with such kind of trainings and workshops, can play a better role by uplifting your profile. Yeah. Any other question, please?
Another very interesting question from Michael. Are the New Zealand's diversity initiative genuinely inclusive, or do they just reinforcement of tokenism?
Enforcement of what?
It's in the chat window. Are Island diversity initiatives genuinely inclusive, or do they reinforce tokenism?
Good question. As I said, and to start with, that other than these things, they look good in the books. Like poetry, you know poetry? Shairi, poetry, they look good. When you talk, the stories, they look good. Bookish words, worldly things, they look nice. When you talk about someone giving a speech, they look nice. Practically, it's a different. That's what they're asking pretty much. That is it really working here, or is just a reinforcement token? Like you already have a set policies, you only want to work on them, and whenever there's a problem, when there's a situation, you say, look, we already work on this one. And not only using it, every single country will be doing the same thing. They will say, look, on our website, this is our terms and condition. This is our laws, this regulation, we're working on it. Is there any problem, come talk to us. The thing is not gonna change until we don't change. And we change with the thinking. If you are not thinking, you are a leader, nothing's gonna change. Because you underestimating yourself. I said I came back 20 years back in the past to talk to you. Why did I say this? Because when I went there, they didn't recognize me. They said, he's talking alien. I don't know what he's talking about. What rights, what racism, what discrimination, what someone is hurt, he left country, he had society. They don't see these problems because they do not have this problem with themselves. Right? But at this age, you're very, very fragile and you are very fertile. You are the soil which is ready for the seeds. And I say the right seed should go into your psychology and brain. Right seed, not the seed of hatred. You're a Jew, you're Hindu, you're Sikh, you're atheist, doesn't matter. First thing, you're human. You consider others. You make policies, make for everyone. Right? You make products, make for everyone. Consider everyone. This is how it works. So it can be the token, it cannot be. But if there's a poetry in my language, the meaning is, instead of complaining all the time, lit up one light, turn one light on at least. Because in the whole room you need 20 lights, 100 lights. For your bit, do your bit, turn one light on at least. One candle, do your bit. Let's do our bit. And you will see the difference. You will see the difference, yeah. Anyone else, please?
As you told before, like you learn every religion.
Yes.
So have you found any similarities?
Hundreds. Hundreds. Most things are similar and common in mankind, human. Because if you talk about faith, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the same Semitic religions. They talk about same one God. And when you read the oldest book on earth, which is Gita and Vedas, they're the oldest religious divine books, considered divine books on earth, older than the Old Testament of the Judaism. They talk about the same God. Same Abraham as Brahma. Same people, same prophets, but different names, different stories. They cultivate time to time. But the message is always unified. I just mentioned big four people, Ramchandraji, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, and Buddha. They all talk about same humanity. So this humanity are human being, people, you and I. They say be nice to them, be nice to them, be nice to them. They're all talking the same language. Then if you say my religion says, no, my faith, my culture, my law says, no, don't be nice to them. That doesn't belong somewhere. That doesn't belong anywhere, and it should not belong anywhere. You get that? That's the thing. There are many commonalities. The difference is there. You respect the differences. You cannot force someone to be any religion or any. You can't force me to be a vegetarian. Can you? Right? Oh, I cannot force you to be vegan. You have to eat meat. No, there's no forcing. Same, there's no forcing religion. Because in religion, concept is hereafter, in another life, you will answer yourself to your God. What decision did you make in this life? You will answer that. So if I'm nice to you, and if I believe this is the right way, I just pass it on to you nicely, the complete message. In 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, slowly, nicely. But I can ask, no, you have, there's no have. No have. No Quran, no Gita, no Bible says you have to. No. Pass on the message gently. If they accept, their choice. No, their choice. Simple as. Yeah. Any question related to the education, to the system? You want to bring change. You think like it should be like this one, you know. I design products, like engineering products. I'm not an engineer. But when I go meet client, they say, I want this one, I better like this one. You know, these screens are flat. No, they're coming in a curve. Why do they come in a curve? Someone saw potential in the market that I want to focus more. I can see things this way. And that was a problem in the market or inquiry of the brain. They made it this way. So you have any potential question or inquiry within yourself, you say, I want things like this way. You can talk about that. It is important. So you think what you think, you say those things, you write them down, because in 20 years, 15 years, you are the one. If you don't discuss them, they could be harmful for others. But you'll be putting your decision on others too, enforcing them. But if you discuss them, the cat is out of the bag. Now other people have their opinions and comments and discussion, so you can sharp that idea into a better product for humanity. Yeah. Schools should have this, colleges should have this, universities, institutions should have this, or education literature should have. This is what I'm doing. You know my vision is? This should be the past part of the national syllabus system. This is my vision. This is what I'm doing here. I'm not representing Islam here or Christianity or any ethnicity. I'm talking humanity. And I want this thing to be everywhere, every institution, and from the government. And maybe it happened in 20 years. You gotta start somewhere. Other people, better communicators, better writers, better thinkers will come in the ground, in the market. They will do this job way better than me. People doing, they're all doing. You know? But there's a way, there's a setup which I started, and I want to do this way.
If this happens, then we no need to do it. There is no need to do it. If everyone let us speak,
Yeah.
so there is no rules.
There's no rules. They're always this is human. Everyone will never follow this. Everyone will follow. What's the time?
It's 12:44.
12:44. Okay. We do another 5 minutes.
Yes.
You think? Yeah, and then we stop. This is the human nature. Two twins, they're not same. They don't think alike. You know. Look at the traffic light. You all stop because you know they're gonna send ticket to you, or they can do something. But imagine there's no traffic light. Same people driving so reasonably, nicely, behaving very well. Same people with no traffic light. You see in one day results in any single corner of the roads. It'll be chaos. Because one is thinking, oh, I gotta go fast. I have some urgency. I need to be there. I need to pick up my daughter. I need to pick up my son. I'm getting late. There you go. So the rules has to be the place for it. This is how human nature works. Rules have to be there, no matter how good you are. All religions tell you rules. All religions tell you rules. And the religion teachers, prophets, they all abide by the rules. They all follow the rules. So we human, this is our need. Otherwise we cannot work. So coexistence, respect, diversity, all these things, they need regulations. And they are in place. But if they're in place as a token enforcement, or they're actually working. If they're actually working, then become a better human, become a better leader, and go there. If you don't become a better human, a better leader, you're going to go there anyway, because there's no other areas you're going to run the country. It'll be only you. Yeah. I think that's for the day. If any other question, we can certainly discuss. Otherwise, thank you so much for everyone to be here. I think if I try to pass on the message here. Sure.
Does hiring for cultural reinforce the bias and exclude diverse perspectives in workplaces?
It's a good question. It's a deep question. It is. You can only say this when you experience this something somewhere. You know, like something which is bias happened to a person. You know, say you want to hire someone from other country, other language, other race, you know, other ethnicity. So in your industry, you say, oh, look, we include everyone. You know, and 99% of staff is like this. It shouldn't be like this. There should be a merit criteria. A public company, a private company, or government companies, you know, when you're adding people into your system, you should be honestly open to everyone. If you are not, you're damaging yourself. You're not discouraging others. Because you're damaging yourself, lots of talent there, able people there, you're discouraging them away. They're serving other companies, other businesses. So, yeah, again, it's a very specific question for a very specific situation which happened and someone notices it and say, look, this is happening. If it's happening, it's wrong. And the one who's doing, they're damaging themselves. You know, they're restraining talent coming their way.
They damage yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. How did they do it? Because you are a nice guy, you are the right guy for the job. I don't want to hire you because you look like this. Right? I hire a dumb guy instead because he looks like the way I want people in my team. And he damages my business. He takes money, doesn't do the job. You get that? So I need the right talent, the right human being. So if I'm open and honest, you know, I consider everyone, I will get right people. Go through the rigorous process for hiring people, interviews, you know, and questions. Go through that, you will find the right people. That's the thing. What I'm doing, I believe strongly, right people who come and do this job. Way better than me. I write, I author things, but I think that's only starting like a farmer. They threw some seeds in the soil, and the plant's gonna come out. They become tree. They give you shadow. They give you food. They give you oxygen and everything. You know, that's my vision. That's my plan. I'm not thinking or believing that I am the answer. I'm not the answer. I'm only that farmer, you know, working on that ground, and I will die. I will move. Better people will start and take it somewhere. Yeah, that's the one. Anyone else?
Thank you, Saeed Yasir. Thank you so much for such a detailed workshop, and I think it answered a lot of questions, lot of queries, even without a lot of queries, which we were thinking on a daily basis. Thank you so much for your time, your efforts. Hopefully, we'll be continuing these kind of discussions in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and inviting and having our invitation considered to WhiteCliff College. I appreciate it. And everyone who's here joined us today and online here as well. Have a good one. See you later. Cheers. Thanks. Bye. Awesome. Thank you. Go with this. Right. Cool. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
He wants to be I'll arrange meeting. Please know whether they can.
Right, into business.
Yes, yes.
Happy to. I'm happy to help you with that one. We've done many seminars on entrepreneurship, on
strong in that area, but he didn't study.
Yeah, we did one at University of Auckland last month, earlier this month. Yeah. And we did a few at UC, more coming. You need more help in anything.
Yeah, but like basically I'm focused on WordPress.
WordPress.
Oh,
WordPress.
more technology focused,
But sometimes like WordPress blogging and finances, like I invest, I do trading,
yeah.
that kind of stuff. Maybe mostly I focus on
engineering.
miscellaneous videos, that kind
Yeah.
of things.
Look, you start something somewhere, and then you find something new or different. Could be totally opposite to what you're doing. More attractive. The only thing is you need to be in the market, meeting people. That's the key. Meet so many people.
So
every day.
networking.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do have a question for you though. I didn't ask it earlier because it doesn't have anything to do with leadership or anything.
Yeah,
It's just
sure.
that I'm curious about how did you, what led you here to this, like, you know, spreading that information to other people? Because was it like personal experience, or was it because of someone influenced you, or was it because you're just really curious about humanity?
My teacher,
Your teacher,
Yeah.
someone did
yeah,
influence
he's a kickboxing teacher, and we used to go there, and I said, what's the fee? He said, just attend my weekly meeting, and that's the fee.
Mm.
And that's where he started teaching us that you care for other people, other
Mhm.
lives. Try yourself, try better to make their life better.
Right.
And he said that's what God wants from you. Work for
Mhm.
others, take care of others, from Muslim background. But as I said, I'm not here selling Islam. I'm here.
Mm, yeah.
saying
I'm
what
a
you told
Roman
me.
Catholic, but I'm not really that religious. It's just that I do know that majority of the religions is actually the same. It has the same God.
Yeah.
It has the same teaching.
Yeah.
So it's not really, it really doesn't have anything to do with the different types of religion. You just have to respect them.
Yes, exactly. As I said, we don't force others. We
Yeah,
must
yeah.
not do that. We do not force our decision, our thought on others.
Mm.
You just, if you think this is better way of life,
Yeah.
in this life and hereafter, pass on to them. That's all. I in Christchurch, I met more than 15 pastors.
Mm.
Most of churches know me, because I spent hours and hours and hours there, discussing, learning questions and answers, and reading the book,
Mhm.
and they know who I am.
Mhm.
And we respect each other. Because why I do this, because I want them to get on board in these things for the community.
Mhm.
So the distance between the faiths and differences, it can be minimized.
So just like how your teacher influenced you as well.
Exactly. So thanks to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for
Awesome.
answering.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll catch up. Yeah, you can get my email address or number from Sir Bilal, and yeah, absolutely. Or on our website, around there's my contact number.
So what's your website?
All around.